Hello everyone once again, and welcome back to the next episode of Casting My Clan. So, let's get on to the team. On the blue team, we have in the top lane Shogath. Jungle is going to be Kindred, mid lane is going to be Annie, bot lane is going to be Jin, Blitzcrank is going to be Port. On the red team, we have Karthus in the top lane, Teemo in the jungle. Play is going to be the mid laner. Oh, we have a meetup here from the junglers. Teemo's got pretty good advantage right now with the damage here. Not really much the Kindred can do, trying to do as much as he can, gets blind. Well, Hui comes in there, gets a good knock there as well. Another push here, double flash, and that's a dead there. However, Teemo has to pay the price for that one, so it's a 1-for-1. I think it's a kill. Hui tries to find a way out of this one. Meanwhile, Hook in the bot lane here. Jinx is going to be taken out quite heavily here. Taunt from the Rammus stops the Jin from getting the 4-shot off there. Hui is dropping pretty low there. Takes quite a bit of damage, but the tower shots put the Cho'Gath down. And that's another death. So, we haven't talked... Oh, flash in there from the Annie gets a kill. So, since we're already in 120 into this one, we still have a few names. Players we haven't named yet in their positions. It's Karthus in the top lane. Teemo is the jungler. Hui is going to be the mid laner. Jinx is the bot carry for the red team. And Rammus is the support. I'm in this game going to be the Jin. And as I said, we're even right now at a 2-2 at 140. A lot of pressure being put on both sides right now. Jinx has to be very careful about her play. She did have a heal there, so that's something about that one. Hook unfortunately misses from Blitzcrank. Otherwise, that could have probably been a good setup for a kill here. Karthus is probably going to take his time farming, but the top lanes have not really farmed that much, both sides right now, after everything that happened here. Root on, Deadly Flourish on the Rammus is not yet a successful point. They're done on the way. Hui taking a lot of damage here. But this is going to be the big part about both sides right now. Both sides can do a lot of damage. Depends on what a few characters decide to do in this one, I feel like right now. If we look at that one, how the itemization goes, because both teams can itemize a bit separately in this one. Rammus looking for something, gets a jump onto the Jin, is dropping pretty low. Deadly Flourish misses though. 4-shot and the Dancing Grenade gets a kill here. Flash and a heal from the Jinx. She is pretty low here. Looks like right now a bit more damage than the Jin here. Takes a hit there, Dancing Grenade, but not enough there. That barrier was priceful, but it was very helpful. And one kill for the Jin and one assist out of that bot lane, and Jin is the sole survivor of that fight. 4-3 right now, about 310 into the game right now. About 1,000 gold lead for this blue team. And as I said, a lot of things have to be kept in mind. We have Karthus, who has the advantage as soon as he hit level 6, especially with Dark Harvest. He's going to be a pretty big menace for the whole game. He can just sustain himself. I'm not too sure if I mentioned it, but I will do now. I am the Jin in this game. I was considering doing a few other things, but with everything that developed out of this one at the start picks, because the Rammus I think was the first pick that they showed, I was not too sure if I wanted to play something. If I wanted to play something more squishy here, but now the Hui gets ganked here, quite a good bit of damage here from the Kindred, but not enough here. Teemo comes in from the back line here, gets a good pressure point onto the Annie. Annie is dropping pretty low here. Teemo gets another poison and puts him down. Rammus is coming in from the side, just going in there completely. Kindred has no opportunity here. Taunt comes out of there. Now Kindred is in a bad spot. Goes over the wall, but Rammus is close by as well, so there's a lot of pressure still coming around here. Kindred drops very low, but Teemo puts her down as well, and that means 2 kills for the red side and no answer from the blue side for that one. And that is not a good sign right now. I was looking for the gank here. Knockup misses, complete taunt. Shogath just get the flash out there. Taunt still comes out of there, so bit of a rough one here. Rammus is going for a lot of pressure here. Shogath just trying to hold on here, but Karthus is putting a lot of pressure on top of him as well. Very slowed up and takes him down. I'm not too sure this is what you would want to see from your Cho'Gath playing this one out. Bramble on the Rammus. has cleared out quite a bit of the jungle of Kindred here, so that's going to be another opportunity here. Karthus could rotate down to help out, but good blind here from the Teemo helps out enough here. And Kindred has to let it go. I'm just not too sure this is exactly what you want to play at right now. A lot of aggression is being put into the position where I feel like the Jing's trying to exchange blows with the Jin here. Works out quite well with the rockets here. Kindred going very aggressive here. That's her mark, so that's something she has to go for right now. Tries to go for that one completely. Does get the mark, but pays for it with her life, and the Karthus gets a kill. He's 2-0 already. He is probably going for the Leandris or the burning the torch, but not too sure yet. However, Annie finds a way in the mid lane, surprises him with the ult, and takes him down. Rammus looking for a taunt here, gets on top of the Blitzcrank, actually puts the taunt on the Blitzcrank. What comes out of there doesn't hit the Jinx there. That would have probably been the score you want to see right now. You go for pressure here on top of this Blitzcrank. Rammus still trying to hold on here, takes a tower shot, it's a deadly flourish as well. It gets knocked up, and that's a dead one, and Jinx gets pulled into the tower. Double kill for the Jin. But did have to pay the price for that one, but honestly, if you get a kill on to the Jinx and the Rammus, I think that's a price you're willing to pay here right now. Team comes in from the side, Cho'Gath gets a great knockup. They get on top of that one as well. Wei and Annie are coming in as well. Team wants to flash over the wall, so this could be a good opportunity to go for this one. But why the frick is this Kindred still chasing here? Wei gets chased out by the Annie. Annie gets the Ignite out there. A lot of damage there from the side, not enough there. There is now that one. Okay, missed, but however, Kindred puts him down there. Rammus comes in from the side. So this is a bit of a rough matchup right now. Rammus trying to get something out of there. Gets hit there as well. So that's another one. Kindred goes in onto the Rammus. Rammus gets stunned up there. However, Jinx is very, very low and goes down to the Annie there for survival. EP comes in here. This is not the situation we want to be in. Hue comes in from the side. There's going to be a lot of problems here. There is the scuttle is gone right now. Good hook there from the Blitzcrank. Deadly Flourish misses, and Hue has to walk away. Kindred tries to go in there. I'm not too sure that this is the right opportunity to go for this one. Kindred put some more pressure on the Hue, but like I said, not really the opportunity to be here. And I feel like that should be something they should be willing to say here right now. A lot of damage being put onto the Blitzcrank. Ult from the Hue comes out as well. Taunt on the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is dropping very, very low right now. Has to flash out of the situation. Annie tries to put some more pressure on that one. Takes quite a bit out of this Rammus, to be honest. Teemo is meanwhile top on the Void Grubs. Pushed out the Cho'Gath from being on there. Rammus once again comes in there. 3 are in the mid lane right now. Kindred can't really probably do much to help her there in this case. Tibber comes out of there. And Teemo gets to live to fight another day. Karthus ult comes out of there. That's a dead Kindred. Wei holding on as much as he can. Gets a good fear onto the Cho'Gath. Here Cho'Gath just managed to walk away. I'm just not too sure if this is right now working out. So, let's look at the damage from now. We're 8:45 into this matchup. We got 9 kills for the blue side, 10 for the red side, and about a 200 gold lead for the blue side. Actually, scratch that. 11-9 and a slight 100 to 200 gold lead for the red side after Cho'Gath falls there. A lot of pressure being put on top of this blue team right now. They have to... The Jin does have a collector, so that's something to keep in mind right now. Nobody else has an item yet. Okay, now the Jinx has an item as well. Jinx has 3 kills, but she has 3 deaths. Meanwhile, the Jin has 3 kills, 0 deaths, and 3 assists as well. So it's an interesting spot to be in right now. Jin looking to hold up as much as he can right now. Rammus gets knocked by the Deadly Flourish. She puts the taunt on top of the Blitzcrank. Exhaust on the Teemo, trying to do something about that one. Rammus trying to sustain something, and Teemo comes in around as well. This is not a good situation. There could be the curtain call. It doesn't matter because that gank from the team opened up the Void Grubs for the blue team, so they get something out of this one. 3-kill lead for the red team, who have 12 in general. It's about a 700 gold lead, and Cho'Gath evens it out to 2-kill lead, and Nom Tim evening it out at almost the same gold amount. Rammus once again. Rammus is quite heavy ganking in this game. Something to keep in mind for this one. Goes in pretty heavily. However, Teemo's being taken out by the Annie meanwhile in the mid lane. And this is right now the situation that's really going on. Teemo has picked up the Nash's Tooth now, has his first item now as well. Kindred is probably going for the Kraken side if I would have to guess right now. Not 100% sure though. And still a lot of pressure being put on top that way. Takes quite a bit of damage just from the Malignant's aura of that bear. Kindred once again went for just the stack there. Finds the Rammus and the Karthus and goes down 4-1-0 right now. Cho'Gath gets knocked up there. Flashes out of dodge, hopefully enough. Gets slowed down a bit by the Karthus. Karthus looking for some more blood here, but not much about that one. Cho'Gath had to use everything to just get away from there. Jinx trying to extend the pressure here onto bot lane to give a bit of a reprieve. But right now I would say biggest problem right now is that okay, they put damage onto the Jhin. Jhin is pretty low here. Yulp gets him and takes him down after Karthus ulted as well. Blitzcrank just overstays his welcome there, dies as well. So right now the biggest issue is really the Karthus ult helps quite a bit out, and the Rammus has been heavy ganking. Rammus is still working on that one, by the way. And for another one, good jump there from the Annie. Very, very low way, and he barely survives that one. Ult comes out of there. Once again, Rammus comes in from the side. Taunt comes out of there. Ignite as well. Kindred gets the field up there, gives him a chance. The bear puts down the Hui, though. And Annie moved out of the field, so she died there as well, I think. Yep. This is a big part right now. Kindred putting some pressure on top of the Teemo. That is some damage here. However, Jinx trying to find a way out of this one. However, walks into a bad situation right now. She pushed pretty far forward, I would say, and gets taken down by a force shot. Deadman's played on the Rammus. Wei trying to do something about this one right now. Cho'Gath is pretty low. Jhin comes now there as well. Teemo can't really do much about that one, and that's just a done fight. Kindred gets there. Good deadly flourish on the way. He can't really do much about that one. Rammus is there. They get a pull up there. Curtain call. One is down. Rammus is barely holding on here. Takes another shot here. Takes most of the shots. It's pretty low, but they don't have enough damage, and Annie puts him down now as well. Wave tries to find a way out of this one. But all is good. The blue team win this fight pretty good here. Take down 2. You have to exchange the Kindred into Cho'Gath, so it's a 2 for 2. And he gets a good pick on the way here. Jhin tries to help out as much as he can, but he's pretty low as well. That's the rocket and misses both of them, so this is a good opportunity here. And Jinx falls to the Annie there. Double kill for the Annie. And now this fight has been really good for this blue team. They caught up quite a bit. They're 1 kill down. They have 2 Drakes. But they have a 300 gold lead. So it's all kind of working in their favor right now. Karthus has to be very careful. He has quite a lead. Karthus has not been really a personal factor. He exists most of the time with these fights, but I mean, he's not been there for the fights. Something to keep in mind right now. That's why he has this lead on the Cho'Gath, especially with the levels right now. Karthus is already level 11, while the Cho'Gath is right now level 9. Kindred looking for some opportunity to get something on the Rammus. Rammus takes quite a bit of damage here already. Jinx, once again, playing a bit too aggressive here. Gets hit by the Deadly Flourish once again. Reload, take down there from the Jhin. Meanwhile, Rammus and Kindred are still fighting in the jungle, in the river here. Wait, gets the ult on top of the Annie. Annie is not in a good spot there. However, oh, the stun does go down there, but not enough. bot tier 1 falls for the red team, so the lead is still extending. Cho'Gath unfortunately takes that tower shot, and Teemo once again doing just the jungle of Kindred, and that's been a big part of this as well. You got the top side, kind of works in their favor. Cho'Gath didn't realize that he got cancelled there and dies, thanks to that super mega death roll. Blitzcrank just walks in, finds Rammus, gets taunted up. He does not have an HP pool for that one, and does manage to survive thanks to a deadly flourish. He goes for a roll, pops even that goes there, gets on top there, gets an ignite onto the Blitzcrank, gets a pull in there, and the ignite puts down that one. However, it gives the Jhin another kill, 6-1 and 6 for the Jhin. And right now, this is going to be a rough situation. Riftchild is on the board, and Teemo takes it out. 2-kill lead for the red team, and about 500 to 600 gold lead for the red team as well. So the red team are in the driver's seat right now. That's something to keep in mind here. Jinx is going to be very wary of Annie, but gets stunned up immediately. There is the execute proc. Ignite is out as well. No opportunity for her to survive there. And a good kill there. Kindred tries to find once again your target. Does get it. However, there's the Teemo and the Rammus, and I don't think Kindred has a good survivability. Finds a way to jump away here. Way comes around as well. Tries to do some more pressure here, but not really much about that one. Teemo gets the blind through, gets a bit of poison. Jhin doesn't really have an opportunity. Karthus comes out of there, but Teemo puts him down beforehand. And this is really right now the problem. They're going for a gank here on the Annie. Annie does cancel that. I'm not too sure if it would not have gone through there, but however, Annie managed to walk away from that fight. They're still looking for Annie. They do know where Annie is. That's the bigger problem, honestly. We make a Death Rocket, puts Annie down, and that's another kill for the Jinx. The Jinx is honestly right now the most beneficiary of this whole game right now. Has not really done much in this game. Has gotten beaten down in the bot lane. Has 7 deaths, but still has 6 kills, and with that she doesn't look too horrendously bad. That's kind of the issue, really, I would say. Cho'Gath gets chased down there, gets hit by a bit more there. Karthus trying to put some more damage onto the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath doesn't get to manage to use the Hextech gate and gets killed by the Rammus. Blitzcrank gets a good hook onto the Jinx, but Jinx didn't have an auto attack still on him. Otherwise, she would have been the tower focus, but that didn't work out that way. Bramble Vest on the Cho'Gath. I feel like Cho'Gath is making the mistake right now of building too much armor here and not doing enough in favor. But Tibbers comes in there and he puts him down. That's another kill. Right now, I would say a bit more magic resist would be better. That's going to be a big part of this one right now. Drake is up, but right now the blue team can't really contest this Drake. And Kindred jumps into the pit just to try to get away, gets pressured out, flashes away, has an opportunity to get out of there, but Hui gets on top of that one. There's the Kindred ult. Hui has to flash away from this situation there. Barely survives. This Hui is still trying to find a way out of this one. Walks away and just gets shot down. Rammus takes quite a bit of damage here. Pretty low. And Cho'Gath noms him away, and that's another one down. And right now, this is really the problem, I would say, for this red team. They're fighting quite nicely here, but they're missing like one step right now. As you can see, we're 2 kills away, and it's about a 400 gold lead. Hook misses the Teemo there, but it should cost him still this tower. Cho'Gath takes that super mega death rocket, but can just walk away. And nothing really to contest in this one. Karthus pressures Kindred quite a bit here. Tries to get on top of that one. They're moving in on the side here. Rammus is close by as well, so this could become a very rough fight if it goes wrong completely. Jinx has to be very wary of this situation, because I think if she does misposition herself, Annie gets on top of her, Timbers comes out, and that's just a dead Jinx. Good knock onto the way, but nobody was left there. Taunt on the Blitzcrank as well, and that's another opportunity for them to find some more damage in here. Wei takes down the Blitzcrank. 3 in the mid lane. Not really much the Jin can do about this right now with everything going on here. Trying to clear out the wave as much as you can here, really. But a lot of pressure is being put on top of this one. Curtain call is not ready, otherwise that would have been probably a prime curtain call timing right now. Just put some more pressure onto the way. You know what? Annie's pushing the tier 2. Karthus comes around here. There's the taunt soon probably coming out from the Karthus gets on top of there as well, and now they claim the life of the Jin. Rammus takes the kill, which honestly benefits them most of the time, but right now it doesn't help that 2 are down off on a double kill of this Rammus. Jinx now has an Infinity Edge on Kraken's level. The Jin does have an Infinity Edge on Collector. Let's look at the itemization. We have probably a moment right now. Oh, no, we don't. Rammus decides to come in once again. Cho'Gath does nom quite nicely on him, but it's not really enough there. Should probably try to turn around on the top of the Karthus, but no opportunity for that one. The Jinx comes in on his win as well, and there's not really to survive off that one. Actually hits the Chomp there, but takes half of Jinx's HP off, but it's just not good situation. Let's look at the itemization. I think we have now a chance for that. So we see a Leandris and a Malignance on the Karthus. We have for the red side, the Cho'Gath has a Heartsteel, and probably soon the Thornmail would be my guess. Still too much armor in my taste, gotta be honest about that one. We got the Kraken Slayer on the Kindred in the Merc Treads, which is a wise choice, honestly, with that lineup. While the Teemo does have the Merc Treads, has the Sorcerer Boots, the Leandris, the Nashor's Tooth, and that's a dead Annie. That's another problem here. And mid lane, the Annie has the Malignance, has the Storm Surge, and a Shadow Flame, which is quite a good assortment of items. Blackfire, the Torch on the Way, and Ludes as well. That's a weird mix-up, gotta be honest about that one. That's really very, very weird mix-up, gotta be honest about that. Burst and Burn at the same time, I'm not too sure that's really what you would want to build. The Rammus just holds on quite a big. Curtain Call being pulled out of there. Jinx barely survives that one. Teemo comes in there to interrupt the Curtain Call, tries to put some more damage onto the Jin. The Mega Death Rocket comes in there, misses the Jin, so he gets to live to fight another day. And the ADCs, we already talked about what they have right now. We do have the Blitzcrank with the Locket and the Swiftness Boots, while we have the Deadman's Plate, the Thornmail, and the Plated Steel Caps for the Rammus. Both supports pick the same item, but we have a taunt on the Rammus and a kill on the Annie. Both supports have taken the Soulless Slay. That's another thing both supports have even there, but the Rammus right now is starting to become very much a winner for for his side right now. Good Deadly Flourish on the Rammus. A bit too far a thought there from the Cho'Gath. Rammus is taking quite a bit of damage, but still holding on. Managed to jump over the wall, trying to find a way out of this one. Deadly Flourish misses there. Meanwhile, Drake is up. Jinx and Quay are going to do this probably pretty easily. Let's be honest about that one. No chance to really contest that one any further. But right now, I would say the biggest issue is Cho'Gath. I'm trying to figure out. I feel like he went too much into armor with the lineup, which it is, because 3 of the hardest hitters on the enemy team are AP. I would say build an AP item first to try and get some pressure onto the Jin. Jin takes quite a bit of damage. Quay managed to dodge that one. But Rammus holding up quite nicely as somebody who has armor. That's kind of probably the part of this one. And Blitzcrank once again goes down there. Rammus just gets on top of the Jin because, of course, there was a Karthus ult as well. That took quite a bit of damage out of that one. And once again, the red team get a kill, and we're at 24 minutes and 30 seconds, 35 to 25, about a 5,000 gold lead for the red team. The red team is pretty much in full effect here. Rammus does not have a lot versus AP, and that's what Annie takes advantage of. However, Cho'Gath moves into a bad spot there, gets taken down by everybody. Flash from the Jinx there, trying to get away from the Tibbers there. Barely managed to do that one. But right now we have a bad situation there. 3 down. And he gets on top there, kills the Jinx, so something goes right there. Just trying to move down now in there, maybe get something out of this one. Kindred looking for an opportunity as well, but the big, as I said right now, the big issue I would say is the Karthus is putting a lot of damage in Teemo and Wei. Jinx has 7 kills, but you can't forget she has 10 deaths as well. She has been overextending herself to a pretty crazy amount, to be honest. Blitzcrank charges forward, tries to get a hook, misses the Teemo completely. Doesn't even get a knock up there, just hits that. Rammus is coming in from the side, goes in for a jump there, top of everybody. However, this is not what you really want to do if you are on this blue side right now. You don't want to have any chance to really get on top of the Rammus, but the problem is you're not getting an opportunity to get on anything else right now, which I think is right now the biggest issue. And you could play pretty nicely front to back, but the problem is you kind of losing the chance to really do this right now. Goth is taking a bit, and he's now dead. That's a big opportunity now for the red team to play something out of this one. You can see how the tower is getting pushed in there. The Rammus gets a taunt off onto the Jhin. Jhin tries to find a way out of this one, and Rammus just goes down. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath just pushes into 2 there and dies completely off of that one. I don't know what play that's going to be. Teemo gets rooted up there. Kindred takes down the bounty there, which can work out, but I think it would have been better to go to the Jhin. Kindred, I don't know why she built that collector there, because that is not an item you really want to see on the Kindred. Low Dominic's regard on the Jhin. Kindred runs through that Jackshaw on the Rammus, and the one shroom Kindred took there killed her off. That's a dead Jinx to the Jhin. Karthus is sitting in the mid. Jinx is going for the Runon's Hurricane. Jinx is going for the pretty old build, to be honest. Right now you kind of go more Hextech Optics into Phantom Dancer and then IE. That's basically a new Jinx build. That's not really working in their favor right now, how everything's going. You gotta keep in mind how everything is playing out right now. And Annie is just sitting there, gonna take quite a good amount of damage there. Blitzcrank is probably gonna fall from that. Or not exactly. Okay, Wei has now the Shadow Flame. Blue team are 10 kills behind, about 6,000. Actually, 5,000 gold behind a bit. But that one, when the inhibitor falls, it's going to be a bigger lead right now. However, the biggest problem right now is the blue team need to find a good fight here. The problem is that they're not finding a fight together in this case right now. They could get a good fight right now. I think that could be an easy kill for the Annie, for example, take out the Jinx, and then you can have to kind of play out from that point. Problem is that there's a lot right now. Kindred finds the Teemo there. Teemo is 3 levels ahead, so Kindred is not really effective in that one. A lot of damage is being put out there. You can kind of feel that a lot is going on. Hui puts the ult and a few more hits onto the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath tries to get on top of the Hui. Hui flashes away. This is another part that's going to really take a lot out of this one. Annie's looking for an opportunity here, but Rammus says, nope, you're not going to do that right now. Annie gets taunted up. The Karthus is there as well, and that's the biggest problem right now, because that's going to be just damage being put on top of that one. Timber tries to get something on there. Kindred is on the Drake for whatever reason alone. Curtain Call comes out of there. Teemo's trying to hold up as much as he can here. However, Teemo actually survives that one. Rammus is there as well, but I don't get why they're going there. Teemo does get taken down by that Cho'Gath coming in from the side, and still the bigger issue is that we have Rammus in base. Karthus ults there, so the Jhin can't really move in there. And she takes another inhibitor out there. A lot of damage being put on by the way, and Jhin doesn't really have an opportunity. Meanwhile, Jinx ends this game. GG, and if I remember correctly, it's another lovely minus 22 LP for me.